Tarot Channelers. This is Tiffany Crosara, and every month I do a little tarot reading for the month ahead. It could be really useful to look at it after every week as well, just to see if it is in tune with you, because it can really help you understand what is going on in the unseen energies and help you tune in to the flow and help you swim with the currents so it's not feeling like you're going upstream. I'm using a lot of water at the moment in my talk because there has been a lot of water. I am currently here in Cornwall and we were battered last month. Well, I wasn't, I was in London, but Cornwall was battered by very, very high waves and strong winds, and I believe that was down to 2 super new moons that we had last month. And if you want to know more about that, then have a look at last month's Astro Tarot channel on my website. I'll put the link below. So interesting that this month we also have the same. Now, I'm going to have to correct myself already. You'll get used to this. We didn't have 2 new moons last month. We had 2 new moons in January, but one of them was at the end of January. And the new moons obviously bring tides up, and super new moons means that the moon comes super close to the earth, so it brings the tide up even more. And we had 2 of those in January. So one of them was on New Year's Day, very auspicious. First time in 19 years that happened. And the other one I think was on the 30th. What is very interesting is that not only did that then bring the tides up for February, but we start March off much the same way. We have a new moon in Pisces on the 1st. I'm loving these new moons on the 1st. It's fantastic because new moons, well, they set the tone for the month, so it seems very appropriate of the universe to take that into consideration, don't you think? Anyway, let's have a look at the cards. You probably can't see them from there, so I'll run up to you with them and we can have a little closer look. What we've got for the first week in March is the High Priestess, and if you can see that, the moon is really calling out there on this card. The new moon as well, that's what the High Priestess is. She's the maiden, she's the crescent. So we have this new moon in Pisces because we've got the Queen of Cups, yes, okay, being very strongly shown here in the Queen of Cups, this energy of the new moon. And now the new moon is very strong in March, yeah, the first day of March, but it's not just the first day of March. Like I said, it sets the tone for the whole month ahead, and it's very strong this month because it has a conjunction with Neptune and Chiron, both of which are in Pisces. So this is incredibly strong, especially when we look at Neptune is the ruler of Pisces anyway, and it's all about spirituality. Chiron is all about healing. So if there is anything that you wish to heal, you know, from March the 1st onwards, it's a good time. But if you see this video before March the 1st or on March the 1st, really do some work on setting your intentions for the rest of the month. Obviously, you can do that for the rest of the month, but it's just super strong and super powerful if you do it on the 1st, but it'll be even more powerful if you do it on the 30th. So that means if you do it twice, it'll be even more powerful, but we'll speak about what's happening on the 30th in a bit. So what were we saying? Yes, the moon, no wonder it's taking over the first week in March. So there's a lot here to do with emotions being very strong, because these are very emotional cards, these 2. Now, that's okay as long as we don't get into this control. And quite often that's the problem with emotions. We try to control them, or we make other people responsible for how we feel, so we try to control them. Now, watch this very strongly on the first week of March, because it feels like the shadow side of the High Priestess and the shadow side of the Queen of Cups can come out here in control, which is basically manipulation. Now, manipulation really is dependency. Okay, so if you're feeling manipulated by someone, maybe you can see through that and go, okay, well, this is just a dependency issue, really. And also just remember that, you know, nobody can manipulate you anyway unless you let them. And if you're the one that feels like you need to do some manipulating, why is that? It really does feel quite important for you to look at self-love and how to actually become responsible for our own emotions. There was a saying I saw the other day which said something like, you know, inner peace starts the minute that we stop making other people responsible for our emotions, and we make that choice ourselves. And as this is a new moon in Pisces and it's all about spirituality and healing, it really is a fantastic time to change the record on this one. Okay, all right, we'll move on. I'll change the record. Second week in Mars, I was about to say. Second week in March, Mars will be going retrograde. Well, actually, it went retrograde on the 1st of March, along with the new moon and along with Mercury going direct. And then Saturn went retrograde the very next day as well. So there's a lot of forwards and backwards motion this month. But not just this month, it feels for the first half of this year, really. Anyway, Mars is being shown more in the tarot for the second week. Obviously, the new moon was more powerful feeling. Excuse me. I'm just getting over from a pretty bad cold. Like I said, we were all battered last month, internally and externally, it seems. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, bear with me. Oh dear. Mars, yes, even though it went retrograde on the 1st of March along with the new moon, the new moon was obviously more important to speak about according to the tarot, and that's why that came out in the first week. But now it wants to talk about Mars. But I don't just think that this is saying the Mars effect is only in the second week. I think this is saying this is what the process of Mars is doing, and it goes retrograde for some time, I think. So I can't remember the exact dates, but it feels to me like this is saying this is the trend for this month, okay? So what we have here is it's saying that, you know, you might be working hard. If you can see, that's the Mars sign as well there in the other corner, in this corner right there is Mars, saying you might be working hard on trying to grow your goals. But it looks like you might be coming up for opposition from the outside. Whenever you go out there to kind of put it out there into the world, there's some feeling of kind of meeting something which is showing you that maybe you're not quite ready and you need to go back to the drawing board. And this can feel quite intense. I've literally got the intensity card there. So it shows that, you know, you might feel under threat, or maybe lots of people are feeling threatened by you as well. So there's things here about battles of the egos, a bit like what I was saying about the first week about control. It feels very important. It feels very important to be in a place where you can go, okay, it's just the world showing me what I need to do to be ready. I'm going to humble myself. I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm just going to get my head down and keep working on my own with this for a little bit longer. That feels like the best way to deal with the Mars stuff that is going on this month. Okay. In the third week, we have quite a lot of upset. Now, what was this I was saying earlier, especially about the new moon, you know, and about control and about the need to release it, and also the need to release any dependency or anything where you've given your happiness over to someone else. Yes, okay, all right, so pep talk over. Now we'll have a look, shall we, at the story. So Mars again here, and as Mars is going retrograde in Libra, it is bringing up a lot of stuff to do with relationships. And this here is showing, you know, it looks like some type of dependency around happiness in your life has got out of control and you've given it to somebody else somehow. Then we've got here Judgment. I absolutely love the Judgment card because it's very true that a lot of our problems in life are because we judge. We judge ourselves, or we judge other people, or we judge the way the world should be. And this will come up a lot in the third week probably, because also in the second week, no, in the third week, we have the full moon in Virgo. That's on the 16th. So it feels as if, you know, Virgo is very critical. It's a very, very critical sign. So it judges a lot. And hey presto, we've got the Judgment card here. So it seems to be saying that your pain that you're feeling is in the judgment of the situation. Maybe you're not feeling loved, but maybe actually that's because you're not loving yourself, etc, etc, etc. So whatever you're not feeling you're getting, it's about giving it to yourself first and foremost. I've got the Lovers card here. So again, this is very much about communication and relationships, and it feels to me as if it's very much a case of like, what thoughts do you think? You know, that is really the key thing here. It's like you've got to be real with yourself. Yes, there's no point going, oh, you know, I feel really happy in this relationship, if really you're feeling like the Five of Cups. But it's like being real enough to look at why you might be feeling like the Five of Cups, and without judgment on yourself, without blaming yourself, without feeling guilty, or without judgment on somebody else, or blaming someone else, or feeling guilty, just looking at what actions have got you there. Obviously your actions, because we can't change anybody else, but once you do change your actions, then things will change one way or another in your relationships. And maybe you're just a bit scared about that, because maybe the dependency side is coming in, that is going, well, I'd rather not rock the boat, I'd rather stay unhappy than lose them, you know. And that's something else that you've got to watch out for. If you're feeling that, that's a really big glaring red sign about self-love, and bringing it back to the self and starting to really give yourself the love and the care and the respect that you deserve. Okay, pep talk number 2 or 3 over. Okay, should we get to the fourth one? All right, if you're still with me, that is. Okay. All right, so here we've got in the fourth week, we have a second new moon. And so the second new moon in the month is called a black moon, and it's very magical for your intentions, perfect for firing up the next level of what you've learned throughout the month. And the new moon is in Aries, and we will have had the sun move into Aries on the 20th as well, so you can start to see all the fire here. Yes, you see all the fire here? Wow, we've got the Knight of Wands for the second time. It came up as intensity in the second week, if you remember. So the Knight of Wands is fast, you know, it's about movement, going forward, even though we do have a lot of retrogrades. So it feels like there's a sense of a battle here about, do we move forwards or do we go backwards? Do we stay where we are? Where do we go? And you kind of see that here in the Five of Wands as well. So it's just showing all this chaos going around, like trying to find out where we fit. Dynamics may well be changing quite a lot. And you've got this laziness card here, which I love, which is actually the Nine of Cups. I don't actually like the term laziness. Sometimes, you know, if we don't put energy into things, it's better than if we do. The problem with the Wands is that the Wands put too much energy into things and they mess things up. I know, I'm a wand, I do it all the time. Whereas if I'm tired and I just really am depleted and I don't have so much energy and I don't put it into things, it's amazing what comes back. So yeah, so have a look at maybe being a little bit lazy on the 4th week. It might do you better than to actually put the energy into whatever dramatic changes are happening. You know, they're going to happen anyway, so you might as well just allow it to happen. Just get out the way, just you know, take the day off or do whatever you do to like switch off. Yeah, it feels like it's a good time to do that. And I think maybe the only thing to do really is to actually do the intention setting with the black moon. Obviously Aries is much more go-getting, so really it should be an active time. But with the planets in retrogrades as well, I do feel that until August we're being asked to reflect a lot. Okay, so I think you can do the goal setting and the initiation of new projects, but yeah, also have a look at changing your patterns, because this month that is what we're being asked to do quite strongly, change our patterns. And that leads me on to the general. You know what I was saying about the forwards and backwards motion? Well, you've got it here. Yeah, with the 2 of Pentacles or the 2 of Coins. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. And, you know, we're going to feel like that a lot this month. It's a sense of having to keep going back in. Every time we go out there, there's a sense of having to go back in and back in, back in. It's not quite safe out there. The seas are still choppy. There's still lots of changes going on, and we still don't know where we are with everything. And it just feels like, okay, so I've got to just keep working on what I'm working on. I think the thing is not to give up, because I think it can be so easy to give up when we don't feel like it's going to work in the outside world. And I think it's very important for us not to give up on our dreams. It's like we're being told this month, you know, that it's the time. Not just this month. Why am I going on about this week or this month? But it's like we're being told this year that we have to do things perfectly. It's master time now, not jack of all trades, and there's no cutting corners about it. So we keep being sent back to the drawing board, and that doesn't mean we should give in, because it means that we're probably going to create the best masterpieces we've ever created in our lives if we keep the faith. Then there's probably no probably about it. Anyway, so change, the Wheel of Fortune, change is being shouted at us from the universe. And at the same time, it seems to be saying going with the flow, which is interesting, because we had the laziness card at the end of the month, and we also had the control card at the beginning of the month. So it seems like this whole reading feels to me as if the universe is kind of saying, give up control. You know, just get out the way, because things are changing, whether you like it or not. You know, you thinking that you're in control, it is an illusion. And, you know, actually the universe is in control, and that's what we're going to show you. So you might as well go with the flow, because it'll be a hell of a lot easier, a much nicer ride. Really don't stress the stuff. It's all there for your higher good, even if it feels really challenging and damn hard work. Okay, pep talk number 5 is done. And on that note, I will say that I will look into my own Astro Tarot channel and listen to myself as well. I did that last month, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, okay, yeah, I should listen to myself more often. Not that this is me. I am being an Astro Tarot channel, basically. I'm not here. It's just an illusion. However, my website is really real. Not according to Google, though. Google seems to taken quite a dislike to it for some reason. So I'm having to rely on things like Facebook and YouTube to get found. So I would really appreciate a share or two if you like this video and you think it can help some other people, friends, or just humanity in its own God-given right. Okay, love and light.